Well, let's have a look now at what's going on around the world. And in Spain, the number of new coronavirus cases has now jumped by 6,500 in a day to almost 40,000. Health workers diagnosed with the virus represent 14% of all those cases. 2,700 people have now died. In Wuhan in China, where the outbreak began, the coronavirus lockdown will be partially lifted on the 8th of April. All those in the city with a green code on a smartphone health app will be allowed to leave the city. That is despite the city registering its first new case in 5 days. And the World Health Organization has said that 85% of coronavirus cases reported over the past 24 hours have been in Europe and the United States. It said it was seeing a very large acceleration in coronavirus infections in America and that the US has the potential to be the new epicenter of the outbreak. Well, more on Spain now, and the daily death toll from the virus is continuing to go up. That is despite ever stricter measures being brought in to contain the pandemic. In Madrid, the coffins of some of the deceased are being taken to an ice rink for storage as mortuaries are full. Meanwhile, soldiers have found elderly patients in retirement homes abandoned and in some cases dead in their beds. So what's the latest on the situation there? Over 500 people died in the last 24 hours. That's the country's worst figures to date. The overall total death toll has now reached almost 2,700 people. Infections have also risen nearly 20%, and that's according to the latest figures from the Spanish Ministry of Health. There are now almost 40,000 confirmed cases across the country, mostly concentrated in Madrid, Catalonia and the Basque Country. Well, in the daily press briefing held within the last hour, a general from the Spanish Civil Guard called on people to remain hopeful.
I know you are all aware that this week is going to be very difficult. However, every day we must continue working with optimism, hope and responsibility. Because believe me, we are one day closer to this all being over.
A little while ago, Guy Hedgecoe, our reporter from Madrid, told us more about the elderly patients abandoned in retirement homes.
Members of the armed forces who are helping the healthcare professionals to battle the virus were checking a number of retirement homes. We don't know exactly where and which parts of the country, but in some of them they found the dead bodies of residents there, as well as survivors. And in each case, apparently they had been abandoned. Now, we don't know for sure if those who had died from the coronavirus. We don't know why they'd been abandoned and under what circumstances. We know that there is going to be an investigation by the state prosecutor. The Defence Minister, Margarita Robles, has expressed a great deal of concern at this and says that she will get to the bottom of it. But it has highlighted a big problem in Spain related to the death rate, which is that the virus has spread to a lot of retirement homes. And that helps explain why Spain has had such a high death rate. Yesterday, we heard that there had been 460 new deaths. We're still waiting for the latest figures today, but many people are bracing themselves for a similarly high figure.
Guy Hedgecoe there in Madrid. Well, let's take a closer look now at the global picture of this pandemic, because in the last hour, as we've heard, the World Health Organization said the vast majority of virus cases reported in the past 24 hours have come from the US and Europe. The WHO said in the past day, 85% of reported cases originate in those two parts of the world. With more than 46,000 cases and 125 deaths, the World Health Organization said it's seeing a very large acceleration in the number of infected cases in the US. They warn that the country now has the potential to become the epicenter of the world's pandemic.